we are getting extremely close to the release of Darkmoor in test run. Somehow it's already the end of September. October is right around the corner, and once October hits, I feel like any week after that could be the test run week for this new world. I'm really hoping this test run comes out early October. I think we've had test runs in the past with like Selenopolis and some other worlds that have come out like late October into November. I'm hoping that they release this one earlier, because I don't like the October, like end of October release window, because then that pushes the live room release until like 3 to 4 weeks after that. So I feel like that's just too long to wait for it. And if they're teasing what they're teasing right now, which includes a full-on cinematic of a new spell, I feel like we're getting really close. So in this video, I want to go through the KI Live VOD that just happened this week. And it was actually a very enjoyable KI Live to watch. They haven't had a KI Live in such a long time, and they brought it back finally. And it had a nice format to it. There was structure. I feel like there wasn't that much like dead time where they were like figuring out what to do next, what to say. So I did enjoy it. I think it was nice, and I hope they continue in that way where they have like set questions and everything and set segments. So let me pull that up for you guys, and we will click through this and I'll show you some highlights of it. So it was only 47 minutes long, which I actually appreciate. If they don't need to go for a full hour, then, you know, they should only go for like 45 minutes or whatever. So here we go. Here is the first segment that includes a teaser. So this is a very rough sketch, like storyboarded form of the new spell that we're about to see. So I'm not really going to explain this because we're about to just see the entire spell. So this is the early sketches of it. This was the rough animation that they did, and they posted this on Twitter. So this was our first teaser of this spell, and how it's some kind of fortune teller that is picking cards, creating a set, and then casting this full set of cards at the target. Then they also showed off the rig of the model of this new character in the spell, which I actually appreciate. I think this is really cool to see this, how they rig everything together on this in order to create this animation. So here is the character model of this new fortune teller character that's going to be in Darkmoor. And then here is the table with all the cards. These are tarot cards, and once we look at the actual spell, I'll be able to zoom in on that and show you guys more closely. So I guess they show a little animation here of this part of it, which is like the rough animation. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and mute Wiz, and let me see if they actually played sound for the spell during this part. They might be talking over it.
No, what is
Let's
going
see.
to be?
There wasn't sound.
Once we get the effects,
I don't know if there's sound in the spell yet. So yeah, there's no sound. I wasn't sure. I didn't remember. I was like, wait, did they have sound for the spell yet? But I guess not. They're still working on that. So this is the spell. Let me go ahead and pause here though. So we have, let me back up just a little bit. So we have these cards. These are the tarot cards that she's made into this set on her fortune teller table. We have Bartleby, the Emperor. We have Death, which is literally just a skull person in some robe riding a horse. Not sure if this is a new character or what. I don't think I remember this from anything. Maybe you guys might remember it. Then we have Strength with Old Cobb and some other characters. I don't really know. Maybe his children in the background. We have the Chariot, which is, of course, the Arcanum. This is what the Arcanum spaceship looks like from the outside, which we barely ever see. Okay, I turned on some background sound, so we have something to listen to. And then the final tarot card is the Hermit, which is Taylor Coleridge from Chrysalis. So those are the 5 cards that we're seeing her gather together into a set that she's completing and then attacking the enemy with. So this is going to be the new balance spell. They did reveal that. They didn't reveal anything else. They didn't show the card itself. Like, I mean, we can see how much damage it's doing there, but that doesn't mean that that's the actual damage that it's doing on an enemy. I know there's no like resist or anything, so it is actually just doing 785 flat damage. But that is the animation so far. So there you go. That is our first look at one of the new Darkmoor spells. I'm wondering if they're going to be teasing the other spells at some point in the future before the release. We'll have to wait and see, or if they're going to reveal the card. They might not reveal the card. It seems like they're just revealing the cinematics right now with no sound either. All right, so the next segment of the stream was a Ravenwood Academy demo. I'm not really going to give my opinion on this game yet because, I mean, I haven't talked about it at all in any of my videos, I don't think. I haven't done any dedicated video to this game. If you guys want that, let me know. It's just something that I'm not really like too interested in because from what I've seen in this demo, it doesn't look like it has any combat. It's just kind of a, you know, mystery game where you're like trying to solve something with clues and like, I don't know, it just seems like it's very story focused and decision based. I do like the art style. It does look nice. I do like that they have a nighttime Ravenwood, so there's probably other areas in the game that have different lighting effects. You can kind of tell the lighting looks different in this demo. And then it's also a prequel to Wiz, so you get characters that are way younger, and Ravenwood is different. It is from the past. So I do like the lore parts of it, and I do like that they are introducing new areas like this new common area for students. All I really see when I'm watching this is that I want these areas and I want Wiz to have all these features that this game has. That's kind of all I really see from this. I'm just like, oh, there's a student union. How come you can't add that to Wiz? Oh, there's day and night cycles in Ravenwood. How come we can't get that in Wiz? That's kind of the only thing I'm really getting from this. Yes, there's some good lore from this that you could get as well. Like Malstair as the actual death teacher looks like this, which is kind of funny. So yeah, there's probably some good lore in here. There's Sylvia because she was alive at this time. She was the life teacher. He was the death teacher. I do like that, but I wish they could just do this in Wiz. Like I wish there was some event or something, like maybe part of the story where we just go back in time and we can experience this story through Wiz, not through a separate game. They said that this game is in an alpha of an alpha state, which is crazy. So that means this game is not coming out anytime soon. So I would not expect this. Like, I don't even know. It might come out next year, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Moving on to more Darkmoor teasers. So they did release this teaser on Twitter. So there is a new kind of vampire werewolf type of character here. And he is, let me read the tweet first. So it says, meet the vampiric House of Cups with a vampire emoji, hashtag coming soon, hashtag Wizard101 Darkmoor. So this is going to be one of the characters, one of the NPCs of Darkmoor. He's literally holding a cup. He's in a super fancy outfit. He's got like a ring on, and he has this banner for his house, which is the House of Cups. So it says, the vampiric House of Cups is the house of plenty, of elegance, refinement, and appetite. While they are the smallest faction in Darkmoor, the vampires don't see that as a negative, but rather the truest symbol of their prestige. Only the worthiest mortals may ascend their standing. As a result, the House of Cups relies on intrigue and politics to get their way. As the saying goes, never invite a vampire in, nor accept their invitation. Whether in your house or theirs, they will always drain you dry. It seems like they're going down this tarot card route for the story, and these different houses are going to be the different suits of tarot cards, and they include cups, swords, wands, and coins. So there's 4 of them. We'll see if they incorporate all 4 of those different houses. We had something similar to this with factions in Mirage, so I'm wondering if this is similar to the factions that Mirage had, because to me, just this initial teaser does seem somewhat similar to what we saw there. So that is it for the Darkmoor teasers, but I do have some Darkmoor spell changes, an update to those spell changes that I want to go over at the end of this video. So here we go. Cam has posted, based on feedback, he has made some changes and posted the updates on 3 of these spells that we talked about in my Empower and Dark Pact video. So let's go ahead and look at these 3 quick. So Dark Surge, I think for this one, all he changed was the card text to make more sense. This is what I originally thought this spell was doing. Instead, he changed the regular pip to a power pip. But it makes sense because if you're doing a chromatic pip, it kind of has to be a power pip because it's Arch Mastery pips. So he changed that, and it's giving 4 pips to the target, which makes sense for 0 pips and 1 shadow. Then you have to take 5%. So we already kind of went over that. He just changed the card text to make more sense. He did change Empower in Dark Pact though. So Empower is now going to be 0 pips, 5% of your health, and you gain 3 pips. So this one in itself only. You can't, give 3 pips to somebody else. This one is interesting. It still is not going to remove any weaknesses on you. I don't know if people value 3 pips for 5% of their health. It kind of comes down to if you think 5% is worth your turn and getting 3 pips. It does seem like a good boost in pip gain, because spending nothing in order to get 3 pips except 5% of your health and that turn is decent. I only don't really like it because I'm reminded of what Empower used to be when it could remove weaknesses in PvE, and it was very good to, use this to just quickly remove things and gain some pips. I personally don't like the change because I would prefer it to remove weaknesses and traps and everything. So I'm not a big fan of this. I wish they could revert it back or make it PvE only, where you could still have the same effect. I don't really care about the 5% part or the pips. This spell was basically just used to remove weaknesses, and they've changed that. So I don't know, not really too happy with this, but it is decent. I mean, 0 pips to gain 3, that's fine. I'm sure people will probably use this if they want to, gain pips quickly. The other change is Dark Pact. So Dark Pact has been changed in name to Dark Tribute, and what they changed now was the 1 cost to 0. Dark Tribute now will cost 0 pips. It'll be 5% of your health, and then you can put the 35% blades on yourself or anyone on your team. This, I feel like, is actually kind of crazy. At 1 pip, this was decent. I was like, you know what? People probably will use this because it could be worth spending 5% of your health for 2 35% blades on yourself. And you can stack these because using this card will not remove any blades from yourself. So I do feel like this was a good buff, even with 1 pip cost. I feel like we're getting into the realm of it being overpowered with it having 2 35% blades, because you can sharpen this and then have 2 45% universal blades, and you can put this on any target. So I feel like this spell has become very good and almost too good. Like, this is actually insane. So I feel like we will be seeing this a lot. Players definitely will be using this. And I feel like people would be willing to spend 5% of their health, especially in fast battles, because you could instantly sharpen this as a death wizard and put up 45% blades on anybody, and it's going to be crazy. 5% is fine because you're probably going to finish the battle quickly. People aren't really taking a ton of damage in quick fights. So this is worth it. I actually think this is a really good spell now, and it makes Death a really good support school. I honestly feel like this kind of propels Death to being one of the best, just for support, because this can be used on anybody. Anybody's attack can be buffed by a significant amount. So that is it, guys. A lot to cover in this video. A lot of different spell changes, a lot of teasers. Makes me feel like Test Room is coming out really soon, hopefully in the next few weeks. I think we can expect it. There's probably going to be a little bit more teasers. I don't expect it like next week, but I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, we could really see a Darkmoor Test Room come out. And once it does, I will be streaming that, hopefully the day of. It depends what day of the week it comes out, but if it comes out during any weekday, I should be able to stream that night. So look forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, definitely leave a like on this video. Subscribe for more Wiz teaser videos, more Darkmoor videos in the future. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all next time.